Alright guys, so a little update on the car. There's some good news, quite a bit of good news, but also some bad news, and I guess we'll start with that. So, pretty much I found oil in the coolant, and you can kind of see in the reservoir how nasty and dirty it is. And I know it's hard to see, but it's kind of like thick and like sludgy. And I just basically flush the coolant system. There's just water in it right now, but yeah, it's kind of disappointing. I was hoping for better, and I did some research. I found out that these cars they basically have a problem where the external head gasket or the outside of it starts to deteriorate or something, and starts to leak. And so I guess as long as you keep flushing the coolant, it shouldn't like overheat or anything. But I mean, I drove it 2.5 hours in heavy traffic and it didn't overheat at all. No white smoke out the back, no sludge under the cap, no really like milky oil, you know, all the other signs. So I don't know. So kind of continuing with the bad news, the passenger door still doesn't work. I can't get it to work. The mechanism that actually like opens the door doesn't work, so I can't, you know, unlatch it. I can't get it to unlatch. It's not structural though, which is good news. I took this door off, the rear door, and looked around all in this area, and this like support beam or whatever you want to call this looked really straight. Didn't really look tweaked at all. So I'm thinking that the door took most of the impact, but obviously it doesn't open. I tried pulling the door panel off from the inside and then manually pulling on the linkage to pull the door, and I just could not get it. So that's kind of disappointing. The only thing that I'm gonna have to replace suspension wise is a lower control arm on the passenger side, the impact side. And their frame is super solid. I looked up the part for the control arm too. It's only like $70 online, so no big deal. And I might go to a junkyard and try to just get it on the cheap, but or for now just to get me by or whatever. It doesn't seem like it's gonna be too hard to replace. And then yeah, the frame seems solid. It's a little scraped, and I'll try to show you guys like the damage under there later. I'll attempt to see if I can get you guys a good shot and see what it looks like under there. But as far as the door goes, I kind of have a plan of attack. So basically, I pulled the fender apart as much as I could, but there's one bolt behind right here, which you can't really see from here, but there's a bolt right there, and I think basically what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to cut the door and get to that bolt, pull the panel off, pull the hinges off of the door, and then try to like pry it open that way. And that's the only thing I can think of really to try to open it, since the latch mechanism doesn't work. But alright, so got the doors off. Had a little trouble with this door right here. I had to like I said, I had to access this bolt to get the panel off, and there was another one down here had to cut into the old door and extract those bolts. Once I got those off, still wasn't able to get the hinges off or the door open, because basically I couldn't access this bolt right here. So basically what I had to do is I had to cut into the door in this area right here and basically access the little mechanism, and I push it with my finger and got it to pop open. Not without too much of a struggle. It was a little bit of a struggle, but not too bad. And yeah, as you can see, there's just that damage from that wreck, from that impact. That was the only damage I could find was right there. It's just a little paint chip, and so you can see a little bit of flex in the metal, and hopefully the new door will close, but we're about to find out. And there's a little bit, I can't really see it because the lighting's bad, but there's a little bit more paint chip, maybe a little bit of flex right there. Other than that, it's pretty good. So So yeah, so now I got my little tarp working in the rain and about to get the new doors on.